Good afternoon, and it's great to see you today. My name is Ruben Kimani, CEO, Username Investment Limited. Where are people putting their money this electioneering period? Ask in another way, where are investors putting their money during this election period? We are a few weeks to 9th of August, the general elections in Kenya. We're in a heightened electioneering political period. You, of course, have attended or watched debates. People are going for rallies. Maybe you are reading manifestos and such kind of stuff. My question is, are you one of those people who may have forgotten about investments and maybe you are focusing more on politics? I believe you might not be. I hope you are not actually. Election all over the world, they come with the uncertainty, they come with volatility and general fear of investing. That is a fact. And it also affects the way people look at the economy. If you do a survey across the country, there's a lot of negativity, pessimism. People don't have so much hope if you are to do a survey. Then if you look at the global phenomena, rising fuel prices, food prices. I heard a story about Ghana, the war in Ukraine and Russia. In Europe, even for the first time in the US, the gas prices have gone up. This is something that is happening. There are so many factors that are happening across us, here in Kenya and across the globe. But today we are focusing about how to invest or to put where to put your money this electioneering period. I've done some research, but I would like to tell you generally, people invest in many vehicles. They are called vehicles of investment, many areas or sectors or segment. And I would like to mention some of them. We have people who invest in real estate. That's what we know, and that's what we do every day at Username Investment Limited. People invest in stocks. They invest in financial markets. We are talking about treasury bonds, treasury bills. We are talking about money market, unit trust. People also invest in private equity. People also invest in commodities, things like coffee. People also do alternative investments. You may have had people who put their money into arts and those kinds of things. Those are called alternative investment. Those are the so many ways in which you can invest. Apparently, in a country like Kenya, people invest in one, two, or three. Major real estate, maybe a bit of stocks in Nairobi Stock Exchange. Some people do treasury bonds. But there are other vehicles, and it's good to invest in knowledge to be able to understand. So where are Kenyans putting their money this electioneering period? And this is before and even after. Number one is real estate. Real estate has been growing, especially from 2020 to 2021. From the figures I have here, it grew by 6.7% in 2021. This is 2.6 point increase from 2020. So it has been growing up. It tells you some people have been putting their money there. Why has it been growing? Of course, we have built so many kilometers of road. This is a fact, despite the huge borrowing that we have done. And this has really helped even Username Investment as a company to know good places where people can set up their own homes or can invest their money. Number two is tourism. There's a bit of tourism boosting from the data that is available. The government continued focus on affordable housing. They have not achieved so much, but what they have done is already showing sign. I know this Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company, people are getting mortgages and stuff like that. We are at the start of phase. I don't think we have done so much, but at the beginning phase. Aggressive expansion of local and international retailers. I know you know about Naivas, Quickmart, and Carrefour. They have been aggressively expanding, taking our space. This is also a bit of a factor in real estate. I would also like to tell you why real estate is good, things that you already know, before I tell you why people are putting money here. Number one, real estate will give you passive income. Number one, if you buy plots give you something called capital gain. I know people in Gong who bought plots for 200,000. They sold them for 980,000 4 or 5 years later. That's a huge gain. People get rich. Actually, most people in the world over time have gotten rich via capital gain. An asset moves from 1 million, it goes to 5 million shillings. A plot moves from 200,000, it goes to 1 million shillings in 4 years. If you have 4 plots, you get rich very fast. Real estate is also a resilient and a tangible asset. If you look at the way the shilling is depreciating against the dollar, it is increasing in value. People are opting to put their money in other vehicles that are resilient. They are not affected so much. Real estate is one of them. Of course, real estate investment is not complicated like other instruments of investment, other vehicles of investment like stocks. Real estate is straightforward. Kuja ununue shamba, come for a site visit, you can see the measurement, you can see the layout, you can see the mutation. You then get your title deed. Then as the area develops, the value of the investment goes up, the value of the plot goes up, the value of the house goes up, and then you can sell it at a huge profit. It's straightforward, so easy to understand. It's something that you can see. Of course, you can use the title deeds that we give to get collateral, to get loans, and it is acceptable in most banks, especially if the plots are in prime locations. Some banks we only buy in municipalities, others are willing to buy the plots that we sell. So you can use this to get as a collateral to get money, maybe to trade in business, money to pay hospital bills, money to pay school fees. There are so many advantages of investing in real estate. I'll stop there. There are many others like agriculture. There are people who do greenhouses in places where there's a lot of water for irrigation. And these are modern ways of farming. You use a very small space, but you're able to do farming. But from where we stand from in username, we don't do agribusiness. I think it's good to confirm that, but you can do that on your own private basis. Which are these areas in Kenya? Because this conversation will not be complete if I don't tell you where to put your money in real estate. Then you be guided by very few factors. Number one, where are people moving? Where is infrastructure being built? Especially these many tarmacs that you have done. Where is it being? Then ask yourself, is it near an urban establishment? Because people move to urban centers for economic activity, they get jobs, they build their own homes. Those are guiding factors: infrastructure, population growth, urbanization. Those are the things that tells you where to invest. What are these areas so that I can break it down for you? Number one is obviously within Nairobi, Kiambu, Machakos, and Kajiado counties. That's where most of the Kenyans live. And Nairobi contribute a big percentage of our GDP. I don't know how much it is, but it is extremely big. And most people build here, they live here for years. Their kids will also live here. So the plot prices will keep going up. We have new place cities like Nakuru. Nakuru is a new city, is the fourth city in the country. They are doing so much. You have huge investment there. And it's good for you to go there early enough. Other areas are other cities like Konza. Konza has been there since I think 15 years ago when it was conceptualized. It is a slow moving city, but one day it will become a very huge city. So you go there way before the property prices go up, and we have properties there as well. We have an area also. You have Thika Road, which has already appreciated so much. Maybe it's almost at the optimum in terms of appreciation, especially where land prices are concerned. But you have a new area from Thika to Garissa. It's called Thika Garissa Road. It's quite huge. It's a highway, and there are plans to do it. And this work is expected to start in 3 months based on the data I have here. It might not even start in 3 months, but eventually this road will become a huge highway. At Wokarage, we also have a project there. We have other areas like Kangundo Road. That road will also be due all the way to Tala. There's a huge transport residential corridor there. Actually, from the research that was done about traffic movement in the city in the next 10 years, Kangundo Road was the highest. Kangundo Road will have the highest settlement within all the estates in Nairobi. What that does tell you, one day that estate will be so big. If you put your money there, it will continue growing over time. We also have other places like Magadi Road. We have Gong Road, where we have so many projects in Gong area. That whole area, that area is so near the city, and that's why we have massive appreciation. Some people already building their own house. Imagine selling plots for as low as 149,000. 4 years down the line, people have built their own houses, huge houses. The plot is going for almost between 800 to 1 million shillings in some of these estates you are selling. That's a huge appreciation. These are places that will continue growing because of population is growing, people are coming to the cities, infrastructure is being built every other day. You may look at those factors and you go to other areas I have not mentioned. I've given you the concept. Which are the areas where Kenyans are investing in? Number two is stocks. One is real estate. It's resilient, it's tangible, you can see it, you can feel it, you can actually build your own home. People have gotten so rich in the country using real estate. Number two is stocks. If you notice in Nairobi Stock Exchange, the markets have been going down. Why? I heard, and I don't have facts on this, some external investors of Canada, they are pulling away because of elections and stuff like that, and other things to do with Kenyan shillings, the global upheaval. So many factors are coming. What is happening? Some of the stocks are going down. If you check, some of the stocks have gone down by almost 50%. What does that tell you? That is an opportunity, but most people will be scared, and what are they going to do? They are going to sell. If you are intelligent enough, this is the time to buy, because from research that have been done over the years, elections do not fundamentally change the way stocks, even real estate, they don't change the value so much. It's a slight or temporary upheaval, temporary downtime. So people are also buying stock. Those who have investment quotient, those who are investing in knowledge. The other place people are investing in is called private equity. Is for private. This is an alternative way of private financing from public markets. It's not like an IPO. This is private. You put funds, or investors put funds directly into a company, or they engage in buyout. You hear a certain company has been bought. These are public. People are also doing that. Why? Because maybe the company values, which is not the real value, by the way. The imagined value because of election is down there. So it's time to buy. There are also those who are doing commodities, number four, and also alternative investment. Alternative investment just meaning putting your money in some other tangible assets like fine art, musical instrument, rare books, intellectual property. Right now we have something called NFT, especially in the West. People are putting their money there. It is happening. Those are alternative investments, and you must invest in something that you know. I would also like to tell you, finally, some of the do's and don'ts when investing in the election hearing period. I think this is very important, as much as I'm telling you places where people are putting their money in. Things that you might already know. I'm trying to push, motivate, awaken, get you into action, not to be afraid, to seek knowledge, to understand, and to know that when the markets are down, whether real estate, stock, or otherwise, that is the time to put your money there. Factoring that Kenya is not going anywhere, we still go back. Even after elections, some of those shares, some of those pieces of real estate that were not desirable, they become very competitive and desirable. Number one, you focus on long-term investing. Long-term investing ensures that you are not affected by short-term volatilities of the market. So the graph goes like this. Maybe the price of a certain plot is 600,000. Because of election, maybe we will be selling it at 650, so that it moves. 550 moves very fast. Then it goes to 520. When the elections are done, maybe it's at 500. Immediately after election, it goes back to 550. Then 3 months down the line is back at 600. But 10 years down the line, that plot will be worth 5 million shillings. It will be going like this, but it is short-term upheavals, but eventually it goes up. That happens a lot in investment, especially real estate and stocks. So when you see temporary downtime because of COVID, because of elections, just know that the market will still go back there. So focus on long-term investing. Don't buy a plot to sell after 2 years. The best time to sell is more than 5 years. If you can do more than 10 years, the better. Same for stocks. Always focus on long-term investment. Keep building a profile, especially if you are buying stock, if you are buying real estate. Keep building your profile over a long time. Don't focus on selling, focus on building your own profile. One day you'll become a millionaire or a billionaire. Number two, expect volatility, but don't fear it. View it as an opportunity. When you have volatility in the market, the way shares have been going down, the way you hear real estate, maybe we have been giving discount for some project. Not all of them. Some of them are in very high demand despite the election, despite COVID, because people want to build. People know that those are prime areas, and the price is good, especially from username investment. So look at the downtime as an opportunity for you to buy so many of them at a cheaper price. Number three, elections should not affect your investment and your financial plan. And you should always have a long-term plan. Are we talking about 1 year, 3 year, or 5 years? Always. Don't factor elections or COVID so much. Have a plan. You can change your methods as you go along, but don't change your goal because of elections. So don't suffer from paying attention so much to short-term fluctuations, which make you feel like the markets are losing it. Your money is getting lost. No, no, no. Focus on long-term. Don't change your plans. Number three, focus on the likely outcome, not a worst case scenario. It's related to number two. What do I mean? Most people will focus on what if this company price, assuming you are buying a share, for example, it goes back maybe from 20 to 3 shillings, because it can happen. You so much focus on the negativity or the fear of election. What is so and so is elected, they break down the country. Most likely they might not change so much. That is the reality. If you focus and look at the previous election that has happened in the country, nothing much might change. What does that tell you? Focus on the real outcome. When you know that nothing much will happen, you most likely will be able to invest soberly, make the right decision based on data. Data tells us, despite the fact that we have 2007 in Kenya almost broke down, we have never had that in 2013, 2017, and we are not going to have it either in 2022, despite the heightened political temperatures. Number four, you need to separate myths from facts. What happens during an electioneering period, apart from politics? Politics is a game of lies and deception. Politics is a game of trying to win people over so that they vote using every tactic. There are those who use positive, and there are those politicians who use negative tactics. So you'll find that getting into the markets as well. People use what they know. You hear this in the streets, you hear this with your friends. It might not be a fact. That is their opinion. So you need to separate wheat from chaff. You need to separate facts from myth. How do you do this? Invest in knowledge. That's why we are doing this public education awareness, so that we can tell you what we have researched about. Invest in knowledge. You can read newspapers, you can read journals, you can go to seminars. There are so many people out there who are doing investment and financial education. Invest in it. Some of these courses are taking, they are called master classes. They are taking a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some of them are whole day. Invest in them. You learn so many things that will help you separate myths from facts, and you'll be able to do well. I would like to mention there are many other ways of looking at this. There are many other do's and don'ts that you can feel for yourself to be able, and you can invest in knowledge, further in knowledge. Go to YouTube, look for people who are teaching people about investment and finances. You'll be able to gain a lot from this. As a conclusion, most investment instruments, purely, especially real estate, because that's the one I am so experienced in, they remain resilient over a long period of time. Whether there is COVID, whether there is election, even if there is something else that will come that will cause a bit of disruption, they are so resilient to a fact that if you invested or bought a plot in the year 2004, maybe at 100,000 shillings, that plot is easily worth more than 5 million right now, despite having 207 post-election violence and many other things and COVID. So in the short term they go down, but the long term you'll always win. So I believe this has helped a good number of people who are watching me, focusing, maybe they are watching politics, and that is the season we are in. People who are who don't want to be guided by fear, they want to be guided by facts. They want to be guided by information. They also want to be guided by faith, by hope. Those are the people I'm talking to today. I hope you remain positive. You'll also remain peaceful as we go to election period. We also maintain some level of civility, some level of dignity for your friends, despite where they come from, even if they have differing political opinions. These are like games. Manchester United and Arsenal. That's how I look at politics. You don't need to fight. So maintain that as we go to election period. And I hope you have benefited from this. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram as well, and share with your friends. God bless you. Have a very good time wherever you are watching this from.